The forehand is probably one of the most important shots in tennis, and today we're going to talk about not just hitting the forehand, but the footwork, because so many people talk about the forehand stroke and the swing technique, but they don't talk about the footwork. How are you supposed to get in position to hit the forehand? So today we're going to focus on 3 different forehand footwork patterns so you can learn how to hit the ball on the run, how to hit the ball on the rise, and the deadly inside-out forehand. So for the very first forehand we're going to talk about, which is the on-the-run footwork pattern. This is so important. If you want to play at any high level or just be consistent when you're forced on the run, this is the footwork pattern you need to know. So the very first thing we want to talk about is the split step. So important to get you ready to move. After the split step, the very first thing we want to do is think about our outside leg, because we're going to be moving to this direction. So I'll be split stepping. I'm going to take this outside foot. Now notice how when I took this foot, I'm pushing off to get my toe in the direction I'm going to move. From here, I like to think of it as walking. I think everybody makes the forehand footwork so complicated, but it's really simple. Once we get to this outside leg, it's just as I'm walking to the ball. And because I'm hitting on the run, I'm going to set up my outside leg and measure it with the ball. Once I'm in this position, I'm in hitting, striking position. I'm ready to use my hips to turn and hit the ball. And that's exactly what you want to do on the run. You're setting yourself up so you can use your hips, hit through the ball, and then put yourself back in the position so I can start recovering. So this is now my recovery position, meaning that look at my toes. They're facing back towards the direction I want to move. From here, I'm going to cross over, and then by the time my opponent hits the ball, I want to be back in this position, which is the ready position. So if we put it all together, I'm going to split, outside leg, walk, get to the ball, hit, and then cross over and back. If I go a little quicker, and that's the basic pattern you want to start shadowing over and over so you can get this ingrained. Make sure you don't go out here and go to a court and you see this video once and you're like, hey, let's have someone feed me the ball. Do this in a progressive fashion where I'm just going to shadow this back and forth over and over again so you can do it in your sleep. Phase 2, you've just shadowed the footwork. Now, go out with the ball. Don't jump to using a ball machine or hitting with a partner. Go out with the ball and shadow, drop feeding yourself, and this is how you do it. So just like we did before, split step, outside leg. I'm going to walk to the ball. Now I'm just going to drop, split, outside leg. And as you get better, you can start going a little quicker. And this is the speed as you're ramping up, getting better, that you want to go. Don't go quick at first. Slow down, take your time, get the footwork, and then slowly speed up. Now this is the next progression. It's great that you can do it with a ball machine, or you can have a partner just come out and you guys can trade off. Basically, Megan's gonna feed me a ball here. I'm gonna go through the footwork progressions that I've already practiced by shadowing and by doing drop fed. And that's the speed you want to go at. We're not rushed, it's very calm, and it gives you the time to set up and hit the ball. Pattern number 2 is taking the ball on the rise, which is a key component of getting better. After you've learned how to hit balls on the run, you're going to get shorter and shorter balls, which allows you to put more pressure on your opponent by taking time away. There's no sense in doing all this work, putting pressure on your opponent, they hit a short ball, and then you sit there and let the ball just settle. You just give back all the advantage you've worked so hard to get. So let's talk about the footwork. So again, we want to split step, outside leg, we're moving into the court. The difference here is I'm going to start moving inside the court, step with my outside leg, then step with my inside leg. Now I'm going to transfer my weight and take the ball on the rise. It's really important that I'm transforming my weight forward into the court. And now I'm going to recover with this foot. Now sometimes you may need to move forward, and then you'll just move forward after. But for this instance here, we're going to just recover. Again, split, outside leg, move outside, inside, shift my weight forward, come back. One more time. And that's the footwork pattern for the on the rise. Just like in the first progression, now it's time to do the drop fed type ball. Now again, don't move forward with this until you practiced and shadowed enough of the on the rise footwork that you can do it without so much having to think so much. Okay, so again, split step, outside leg, moving up to the ball. And here I have my ball ready. My weight's on my back leg. I'm gonna step, drop the ball a little higher. And the key with dropping the ball is I'm gonna take the ball at the peak. I'm not going to let the ball settle and start dropping and take it on the way down. One more time. Drop the ball, take it at its peak. And it's really key that as you learn to drop the ball a little higher, get used to trying to take the ball at the top of the bounce. The more you can kind of drill that in, the easier it becomes to learn to time the ball and get your racket set so you're ready to swing when your footwork gets you to the ball. So now we're on to a partner-fed ball. Again, you can use a ball machine if you want to, but it's great to have a partner that can toss you the ball where you need to. Ball machine might take a little bit more time to set up. Now again, the keys are moving with your outside leg, moving up to the ball, shifting your weight and taking the ball at the top of the bounce, okay? Okay, so you notice how I'm moving my outside leg up, getting there, and I'm shifting my weight through the ball. Now it's really, really important that I'm prepared so when I get there with my footwork that I can swing through the ball. And I'm prepared because I'm getting there with my outside leg first, measuring the ball, and then stepping and transferring my weight with my inside leg after that. This shot has been made famous by every major tennis player in the world, which is the inside out forehand. It's probably one of the most powerful, if not most used forehands on the face of the tennis planet. So you need to know how to do this. So the very first thing we want to talk about, again, is the split step. The difference here is after we shift, we're gonna be moving away from the outside leg. So let me show you how to do that. So we're gonna split, and as we get down, we're gonna shift. Notice how my toes are still facing slightly this way, and this toe's facing that way. Now, really important here is when I shift, I'm shifting my weight a little bit more forward, not so much back. That makes it a lot easier to move back. So split, shift, and now that I've shifted, I'm gonna use this leg and it's gonna cross behind me like I'm stepping backwards, okay? So first of all, really get used to this movement of splitting, shifting, and then pushing off here and just having that step. From here, I'm gonna line up my outside leg again with the ball, and since I wanna hit inside out, I'm gonna now use my inside leg to direct a little bit more of what I'm gonna do here. So how that looks together, split, shift, step, step, outside leg, inside leg, and now my body's ready to uncoil into the shot, and then I can cross behind if I need to. Depending on where you finish up, you can either cross behind or also simply cross over. So it'll look like this, shift, here, hit, cross behind, here, if I don't pull it around, I can cross in front. So it's really important, again, how you split, shift, keep your weight slightly forward so it makes it easier to push off and get behind the ball so you can get in position. Now it's time to use the drop fed feed to practice this and really nail down the footwork. It's so important, that core first couple steps to get yourself in position. The biggest mistake players make is that first couple steps and they seem like they're late. They can't get behind the ball. They can't catch up with the ball. And that's because of those first couple steps. Okay, so we're gonna split, shift, push off, back, back, back. Notice how my feet are set up here. Hit the ball. I can bring this foot around, cross back, and split in position. Again. Back, back, outside leg, lining up with the ball. Okay, see how it'll hit the ball a little wide, no problem because we're focusing on the footwork. And then, if I'm here, I can cross back. Again, probably feels a little bit more natural to cross behind, but there are some situations depending on where the ball is. Now you finished, you might cross in front. But mostly, it's all about getting this first couple steps down really quick. The quicker you can get this down and get in position to take control with your footwork, the better off you're gonna be hitting the inside out forehand. It's partner time. Got my partner out, she's gonna help me demonstrate. Again, you can use the ball machine to do this. The key, so much of the key for this shot is the first couple steps, making sure you split, you drop, you get your back leg to come around as quick as possible to get you in position. So again, you can see how getting out there is so important to do it early. And I used a couple different footworks in the sense of scooting behind and scooting in front. One time you might have saw me shuffle step just to get myself in better position, but you can still only do that if you get the first 2 steps quickly enough that I had time to shuffle step. But the biggest thing is, again, like I said, those first couple steps will get you in position. Now, if you use these footwork patterns, you will be more dominating on the court. You'll be able to use your forehand in ways that other players can't. So make sure you go out and practice these footwork patterns, because these are the keys to becoming a better player.